Very good morning for joining today. Just give us a few minutes and then we'll get started. Vrishali, we can get probably started in the next 2 minutes.
Sure.
Okay. Very good morning and good afternoon for joining. I'll have Rishali kind of drive the call today, but just to give you overview, this is probably our second partner call for this year. We want to make a concerted effort to ensure we cover all the regions. I'm sure all of you know the US partner call happens during Wednesday, probably during your late hours. So we want to make sure we kind of include APAC as well as EMA very consciously. Having said that, today we do have some of the significant updates done to our product, right from the user interface to some of the premium modules which we are bringing in. We have gone through a beta cycle with a lot of feedback. Some of the EMEA partners have constantly given us feedback when they use the M365 modules. So we have taken those. And as we walk through, we will go over each of these modules. And as such, I think the product is going to evolving in terms of how we want to kind of make the life simpler, right? I'm sure, we have a lot of feedback, especially on the way we show vulnerabilities, the problems page, the solutions page. So there are a couple of things which we want to kind of streamline. That's something which our CTO is very actively working on. But having said that, I think today's partner call is to cover the last month updates, including what comes in the premium package. Over to you, Vrishali. And
Thank you so much, Vidyaji.
feel free to drop the questions in chat and I'll be there to answer it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vidyaji. Good afternoon, everyone. So I'll go ahead and start with the call today. So the agenda on the call is I'll just cover some of the UI updates which has been there between the last call and this call. We'll be doing demos for Microsoft 365 Web Application Scanner and Google Workspace, out of which I think many of our partners are already using Microsoft 365 Beta, which is a part of our cloud assessment. And then, as Vidyaji mentioned, we will just understand the new SKU structure. How do we transition? What are the timelines? What's new in the premium SKU, right? And certain FAQs, which are very common questions, we have built a documentation around it. So I'll just go through those questions over there. Now, starting with certain updates and enhancements in the product, what we typically did is, so if I take you to this particular slide, in application baseline at a company level and a global level, you have an ability to add application baseline, correct? Now, if something, some of these records are getting inherited from global, you don't have a clue that, okay, it is the actual entry is coming from global, right? So here the column will indicate that very easy to understand that, okay, is this particular record coming from global? Yes. So is global column has been added to give you a visibility whether that particular record is only for a company or it is coming from the global setting. Very similar to this, we have also added is global column for tag rules, right? Again, partners are facing difficulty to understand whether it is for a particular company or it is, globally that particular rule has been defined, right? So same way you will see that is global option in the company level, whether that is for globally or only for that company. Now, coming to cloud assessment, now this is something Connect Secure has planned to get into a premium will see cloud assessments at a company level. Select any company at a company level, you will see. Currently, you will only see Microsoft 365 Security Inspection Report, correct? That is in beta currently, which is there in the production. Other two are the coming soon features. We should be able to add that as soon as possible. Okay, so I'll take you through a live demo of each one of these. So Microsoft 365 as my screen. Okay, here.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Thank you. All right, so this is about Microsoft 365 Security Inspection Report. Now, this feature typically helps you to look at your how are the configuration, right? How are the security controls? It will evaluate those security controls. It will identify the vulnerabilities in that. And then obviously one step ahead, it will also give you recommendations how you could enhance your security measures that will help you protect against potential threats and breaches, right? So here you will see that whatever after the scan. Now to start with this, the question comes, how do you get this, right? So here under settings, I think all our Connect Secure partners are aware that integrations is a part where, you know, you need to do certain settings and then it will reflect. So similarly for Microsoft 365, here you have a security inspector integration settings. And very similar, you'll need to add the credentials here. Now, this is very similar to Entra ID. Whoever has used Microsoft Entra ID, they're aware that you need to create an application, get the client ID, tenant ID, right? So all those details. Now, apart from that, particularly this M365 Security Inspector needs a principal name. It needs the, so you can download the certificate from here and the application thumbprint. There's a documentation here. So you could actually use a help link, which will take you to a documentation to help you set this up. And once that has been set up, you have to map it to the company. So that particular company, you'll have to then go to cloud assessments, select Microsoft 365, and then you can do a sync here, right? So after you do a sync, you will see that the report comes in here. So once the report populates, there you should be able to see the severity summary like critical, high, medium, low, and the informational items recorded here. So for an example, now say if I click on one of these findings, so the detailed of that particular finding is available, like, okay, what is the inherent risk that particular record has? Is it compliant? No, right? Very clearly it's been given. You have certain references here. What are the affected object with that particular line item? What is the remediation that will make you, take care of your security measures? And then I think one more question, one step ahead, we have also given what are the license type that you require to take care of this by using this particular remediation, right? To integrate, you don't require any license type as such, but to remediate, definitely you require certain license types. So every finding has an attached tag mentioning whether you need a specific license there. So you should be able to see that licensing mentioned here, right? And obviously the description of what exactly are we looking at should be available here.
Just if you can go back to that screen, not to probably just to clarify, this is applicable for both P1 and P2 licenses. That is the inherent meaning, right? So you have partners where you want to remediate for both. Some few things will be applicable for P1 licenses, few will be for P2. Some in P2 and P1, right? So that's the way it is. So this exactly shows where do you want to focus your attention on for the partners clients who have P1 and P2 or just P2, right? So that's the inherent meaning of this.
Thank you, Vidya. Now, moving ahead here, definitely, I think next comes is you got what is to be done. What are the pending items to take care of the security measure? Next is very similar to our solution view, what Connect Secure has. We have also built the same design, the remediated records and the suppressed records. So remediated records, anything that you actually remediate will come and sit here. So you should be able to see those details here. And the suppressed records like normal suppression flow is also built in for M365. So here you have an ability to suppress. You'll have to give the reason, etc. Approval process is also inbuilt for suppression. So same suppression flow has been added into Microsoft 365, and then you should be able to suppress for a certain number of time, right? So that's about how you can use this. And coming back to reports. So you have a PowerPoint, you have Word, you have Excel report, right? So all three formats of reports are supported. So you should be able to download any one of these reports and see exactly how the data looks like. And the sync, anytime you would like to sync to the latest information, you can use the sync now option. And once you use the sync now option, the job gets created here. So you should be able to see an entry in the job, which will let you know the progress of it. And that particular progress is recorded here. Okay. Now alerts. So we have also added alerts for this. So any changes in your 365 environment are getting recorded here as the system event. So you should be able to see like a new asset added or the remediation found, etc. Right. So alerts are also available in the alert section here. And definitely there is a dashboard as well. So if I go back to dashboard section, M365 is quite an evolved feature here. That. Right. I'll probably showcase that later. I'm unable to find it here. It's not loading for me. So dashboard again has a similar information in format, like you should be able to see what are the findings, how many are compliant, how many are the critical, high, medium, low, that kind of charts are available. Table is also available in the form of dashboard here, right? So that dashboard for Microsoft 365 should be seen over there. And definitely under standard reports also, if I take you to standard report, there is a cloud assessment section, which you should be able to see here. Please scroll down. So the cloud assessments. Okay, probably I'm into the wrong company. I'll come to that again once I finish demonstrating the other section. So you'll find there is a section called Cloud Assessments, and you should be able to see Microsoft 365, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint reports over there, as well as the other cloud assessment features. Reports are also being added over there. Okay. Any questions on M365, or anybody wants to know anything specific about M365? Okay. Perfect. Then I'll move ahead to second feature, which is a Google Workspace, right? So again, this particular Google Workspace is very similar. Like you need to start from integration. So here, if I go to integration section, I need to go navigate to Google Workspace. And here I need to provide details for the credentials, right? So here just the principal username and then the credential JSON. So again, you have a help link available here, how to generate this particular credential JSON, which you have to upload it here. And a similar way, you'll have to also do the company mapping. So that particular company, you should be able to see Google Workspace data syncing in, right? So if I go back to Google Workspace, again, definitely very similar to M365. This will provide you a report of compliant and non-compliant security configurations, what are the user behaviors, overall account protection, right? And potential vulnerabilities, right? So here you will be able to see that 40% are non-compliant. So 60% are compliant, right? So here you will have the numbers definitely. And when I click on any of these findings, you should be able to get a similar information about. So there are references, there are remediation. So, okay, so admin 2SB required. What are the references here? What is the remediation for it? Here you do not need to have any specific license type. So Google is quite simple, so you'll not see that. So that way you should be able to see the data about what exactly has to be done on the findings here, right? So this is again an evolving feature. Here also you will be able to do a sync anytime. So once you press sync, you should be able to see that particular sync status in the job section here. So here you will be able to see whether once it is completed. Then the activity here is all the Google Workspace activities are captured and they have been put into one single window here for your reference. So for an example, the token authorized a third-party application or service, the user token typically will be shown here, right? So that way the activity is here. And very similarly for M365 also we'll be adding this activity tab under Microsoft 365. Okay, and this is again enhancing to our next level. So this feature is already there. Next one is again a web application scanner. So web application scanner is, it's a full-fledged, I would say, OWASP, right? I think many people are aware that top 10 OWASP, right? So that top 10 OWASP is something which is covered under a web application scanner. And here, very simple, going back to UI here, this particularly exploits, it finds the vulnerabilities in the web applications. Then it will scan for security issues like, SQL injection, your cross-scripting, that is XSS, authentication weaknesses, right? What are the, then there are reports also as well here. So results will showcase all the details in there. So here it's quite simple. You add a URL here. Here you have, and so URL can be like, if you see here, HTTP or HTTPS. Now, this is where I think the information you need to know is there are different scan types, right? So passive and active. So passive is typically, it's a non-intrusive scan versus active is an intrusive scan, right? So recommendation is the documentation covers all these recommendation, but recommendation is perform a passive scan on your production environment and active scan on your development or the testing environment, right? So because it's an intrusive scan, it may sometimes affect the application. Similarly, we have spider types. So spider and spider Ajax. So this is like a traditional spider scan, and spider Ajax is nothing but it is for modern web applications. Then we have parse robot.txt. You can select whether you want to go for robot.txt or you want to go for sitemap. So there are different detailing available. Is robot.txt typically it interact with the web crawlers like a search engine, right? Whereas the sitemap has an ability to quickly find all available pages under a list of URL, right? So that way you should be able to select what exactly you are requiring. And then here, duration, you can mention that how long you want that scan to be completed. So accordingly, you should be able to add those details and scan later. We have this option available for other scans also. So you just add an entry into configuration. If you do not want that scan to be initiated immediately, you have an option to scan later. If you do not select, after you add a configuration, a new scan will be started here. Okay. Now let's go to result and see. So results here will populate typically, that particularly this one URL got scanned, what type of scan it was. It was a passive scan, how many scans you did for that, and when was the last scan, right? The updated is when is the last record updated. So here, if I click on, then I get to see all the history, right? There were 18 scans done for this particular URL. So every scan, you will find a record here. And then going in detail. So if you want to go back in time and see the older scan, you can see that. So if I go, sorry. Let me say this for, I don't have vulnerabilities here, okay. Okay, so this one has certain vulnerabilities here. So here you should be able to see, what are the total vulnerabilities, right? How are they categorized between high, critical, medium, low, right? And then you will have the detailing here. For an example, say content security CSP header is not set. It's a risk is medium. And then when you click on this particular item here, it will also tell you what are the instances of vulnerability that it saw, which vulnerabilities have been detected. So you will see the listed vulnerabilities here, references for all these description and the details of that particular vulnerability, and the remediation as well. How can you take care of that particular flaw in the system, right? So that way you are getting complete information about the issue as well as the remediation here. And currently we have this docx report available at each scan level. You should be able to find a docx report available here. Any questions on web application scanner here? I think this is what many partners were waiting for quite a long time to see, what top 10 OWASP scan. So that's finally coming back in Connect Secure. So you should be able to utilize that. Right. If there are no questions on the demo, then I'll move back to my PPT. Okay. Now let's see what Connect Secure is offering into new SKU structure and how is it been designed, right? So the new SKU admin login should be able to see this under plan and billing section, right? So global settings, plan and billing is where you will see this information, whether you are on a standard plan or you are on a premium plan, right? So these three features under cloud assessment like M365, Google Workspace, and web application scanner are part of your premium plan. So partners which are going to use that feature will be always on the premium plan. So here the tier-based pricing is readily available for you, and you can upgrade and downgrade right from the portal here. I think on the last call we covered how to do that, but I'll quickly tell you that you have an option to change to standard or change back to premium. Changing to premium is an effective immediately. So immediately you get upgraded to premium. Downgrading to standard will be effective with the next billing cycle, right? So that's the thing. Now, as I said, standard versus premium, what are we offering? Like M365, Google Workspace, web application, all three are part of premium SKU. And currently, what is the next enhancements that we are doing for M365 is you will have the CSP support coming soon. We are working on that. Currently, it's a non-CSP environment, what we are looking at, or we are able to scan. CSP environment scanning will be a part of the product soon. Google Workspace will be launched by this month, and web application scanning also will be launched by this month. One thing to remember, all these three will be available in the SaaS deployment, that is your cloud deployment, whereas for your on-prem, currently only we are giving M365 assessment, right? So that's the major differentiation between two deployments, just for your information. Now, I think all of you must have seen this particular pop-up when you log into Connect Secure portal, right? So what are the timelines? So very defined timelines have been given in the pop-up as well. I'll just go through that. So beta to premium will happen on 1st of April. Beta ending will be on March 31st. So beta partners, so whoever is using M365 beta will be automatically switched to premium plan after the beta. So that means from 1st of April, you will be automatically on the premium plan if you're using M365. If you're not using, you will remain on the standard plan itself, right? But the partners who are using M365, if they want to opt out, what's the process? You can just send a simple email stating, I want to opt out of premium to support@Connect Secure, and the support team will take care of it. Okay. You still have some time to, go through M365, see the feature, how to use it. So you can make a call whether you want to go with standard, you want to go with premium. As I mentioned, the cloud assessment tab, under that, all these three features will be part of premium SKU. Now come to certain questions. I think every partner will have these questions in mind, what are the new SKU changes? As I mentioned, standard is a default SKU what we use today, except M365 beta, right? Otherwise, everything else which is a part of the product will remain as a standard edition. Premium edition will include Microsoft 365 assessment, Google Workspace assessment, and web application scanning, right? So these are the integrations which will be part of your premium SKU. Where can I find the pricing structure? As I already showcased, it is readily available into plan and billing section of Connect Secure portal. You should be able to see the details there. If you need any more details about pricing, feel free to drop an email to billing@connectsecure.com. Okay. Now, what happens when the new partners get signed up? So when you come in as a new trial, anybody comes in as a new trial, by default, it will be a full-fledged product. So premium SKU product will be available for trial. So the partner has to decide whether they want these additional features or no. And then accordingly, they can downgrade to standard or they can continue with premium. So they have that option to upgrade or downgrade, or they can decide to continue with standard or premium at the expiry of the trial date. How does it impact billing for the current partners? Now, billing update applies in two scenarios, right? Partners who are using M365 assessment, right? Currently, as I said, whoever is using M365 assessment beta module will be automatically upgraded to premium SKU starting from 1st of April. So starting from 1st April, your bill will be automatically considering M365 if you are using it. Partners who are not using M365 assessment module in beta will remain on the standard SKU. So don't worry if you're not using M365, you will be only on the, you will be continuing on the standard SKU. So there are no changes in your billing. It will continue as it is. Can I opt out? Very common question from this premium SKU. Yes, if you do not wish to continue with premium SKU, simply just drop an email to support@Connect Secure before April 1st. And then we will switch you back to standard SKU, right? If you have any queries, am I on the standard plan? Am I on the premium plan? Am I using M365? Feel free to drop an email and we should be able to help you. Now, can I upgrade or downgrade my SKU? Yes, from the portal, you have an ability to upgrade or downgrade as I showcased, right from plan and billing section. If you upgrade from standard to premium, it's an immediate upgrade. It just takes your confirmation that you want to upgrade to premium. It will show you there is a pricing change, and then it is instantly upgraded to premium. You can start using premium feature immediately. And if you want to downgrade from premium to standard, similar process. The only change is the downgrade will take effect from your next billing cycle, right? Until then, you will be a part of a premium plan. Okay. And now how many times can I upgrade and downgrade in a month? So only once through your UI. So plan and billing section allows you to do that process only once. Except if you choose to downgrade today to standard, you still have an option to revert back to premium before your next billing cycle, because until your next billing cycle, you are still part of your premium plan, right? So that is about the questions on premium and standard. Now, what is the road ahead for these premium offerings, right? So people feel that, okay, okay, 1, 2, 3, already I've seen what else is coming in there, right? So cloud assessment, we will be adhering with CIS baseline standards. So that's something which is work in progress. So you will see that soon. Another feature we'll be adding soon into premium SKU will be asset management documentation, right? So that is again a new feature which will be added. And then definitely reports and dashboards, as I said, that we will need to add for all these premium features. So more value-added reports and dashboard will be seen for that. And the CSP support for M365. So these are certain enhancements which are on the roadmap for the premium offerings. Right? That's it from my end for today. Right. So anybody has any questions, we're happy to take it.
Vrishali, you want to go back to the M365 dashboard? I'll quickly give you the company name where you can walk through that.
Yep.
The company is New Test, New Fix, NEWFIX. NEW.
Next one. No.
The other one is NEWONE. I think they have probably switched this one. Okay.
Yeah, which was there in the morning call, very much there. Unfortunately, it's a test environment, so sorry for that mess up, partners. Because all these features are not yet live, so we are using test environment.
Shali, can I help?
Barsha, we need to showcase M365 dashboard. If you can help me, which company they are in?
All right. Just give me a second.
Okay, let me take up the Q&A. Okay, I think Mark had a very valid question which came up probably across many partner calls as to whether you can give limited access to certain set of clients for the premium edition. Right now, we are not doing that. We have just kept it very simple for the reason that we didn't want to complicate the billing aspect of it. Having said that, we currently do not have that bifurcation, Mark and Dennis. But as I said, we have beta, and please feel free to reach out to our sales team and account managers to see if there's something specific you want to give a particular client a report or something like that. So once the premium feature is enabled, you can start generating those reports. Yeah, and we have graded out just that we wanted to be very transparent to the pricing. So we have just kept it in plan and billing page. After April 1st, you can upgrade or downgrade based on what SKU you would like. So that's the plan. And we have a very comprehensive FAQ written for you to talk to the leadership in case you want to kind of work through this premium model. So that gives you as to what you should expect, and also the kind of issues, and also very comprehensive ways to kind of set up this module and get it up and running. So we are going to kind of work through a very comprehensive documentation for all these 3 modules so that you're set up for success. Yeah, Parsha, I'm seeing a blank screen. Are you showing something or?
No, I think there is some problem with the dashboard, so
Okay.
I'm not sharing it. Yeah.
Okay, I think we are done with the call. Vishali, you have something else to cover?
No, I think all the questions are already taken care. Yep.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah.
Is it possible to give permission to specific organization user that it will see only the report information? Currently, Sigita, we don't have that, but that's something we will come back to you on that.
Yeah. Yeah, Enrique, please go ahead. Okay. Enrique, I suggest you please send us the ticket. Just to let you know, we have set up an entire infrastructure for the web app scan is pretty complex. We have set up a fairly large cluster, so we are scaling up based on the requirement. Just to let you know, it's additional a lot of cloud cost. So maybe sometimes you could see some delays. So I just request you to kind of send me a ticket and I'll have a look at it. So yes, I think that's the only reason it couldn't have generated a report. So please send me a ticket, Enrique. Thank you so much for your.
Perfect. Yep. So I guess we're all caught up here. Thank you so much for joining the call today. Thank you all.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.